Everybody, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modeler Bench, and here we are. It's just about 8 p.m. on Wednesday the 29th of November 2023, and I've been very lucky today. I have had a couple of parcels arrive. I'm sure you all know Wendy. She goes into a lot of the chats on a lot of people's live streams, and she's renowned for being very, very generous and kind when it comes to donations and contributions to people's channels and stuff. She is absolutely a star. A couple of weeks ago she sent me an email and she suggested to let you know if you're thinking about getting the new fairy Gannet from Airfix in 1/48 scale, don't, because I've pre-ordered you one and it's come today. But also another box has come from Wendy, which I wasn't expecting. Here it is, and I don't know what's in there. Now the other one, this is the fairy Gannet, and I cannot believe the size of the box. I was expecting something half this size, but the box is huge. And also it sounds like it's one of these well packed ones again, like the Sea King was. So I have briefly seen one review. I saw Greg's review of the kit, and he did a very quick sort of 6-minute review of the kit, I think it was. Maybe it was 12 minutes, I don't know, but very quick, and that's the only one I've watched, because when I get a kit for review, I don't like to be tainted, I think is the right word, by anybody else's opinion. So, you know, if somebody else looks at it and says, oh, the panel lines are a bit heavy, or the engine intakes look the wrong shape, or the cockpit canopies aren't very nice, I don't want to go into it with that opinion. I want to go in with it completely blind and then make my own mind up. So but Greg is very sort of bang bang, you are, you know, there it is, there it is, there it is, and he's not a rivet counter by any stretch of the imagination, so you know you're not going to get anything from him in that respect. But with this other box, I don't know. I really don't know. So let's get to the, in fact no, let's not get to the overhead, let's stay on this camera for now. So I'll get my knife and I'll remove this fragile tape, and I'm making sure you don't see the top of the box because I've still got my address labels on there. And here comes Jess because she loves the box. So what is in here? I wonder. Something a little extra for those mojo days, Wendy. Oh wow! Do you know what, Wendy? I've been looking at this. I can't get it out of the box. This looks like a lovely little kit, and I have actually been looking at this because it's one of those kits that will build up beautifully and won't take too long because it's got no cockpit or anything. So it's 35th scale, I believe. Yes, it's 35th scale. It's a little it's called an MQ-8B Fire Scout with missile and blade fold kit. So it's basically a little drone, helicopter drone. So let's have a look inside. Oh, it's quite big. Wow. Yeah, that is a proper little mojo builder. You can see there, they're quite big by the size of my hand. You can see it's quite a big little model. So yeah, that'll be enjoyable. It's Tackham, so it's going to be crisp and clean moulding, and probably have some very funny sprue connection points. But do you know what? It's really fun. I was looking at this only the other day. I can't even remember now whose website it was. What was it? I was looking at something and that came up. So thank you, Wendy. That is absolutely wonderful. I will thoroughly enjoy that. So over here we have this massive box, and I'm not sure. She said she's opened it to put a note inside or something, and she said she's put the invoice in there. Okay, looks like it's taped here. Mind your nose, Jess. So which one have I got here? I've got 3,503 of 8,190. So Airfix do this now. They give you their own packaging. So they send the kit out in this packaging. So the actual distributor doesn't need to package it, which is great when you've got people like Jadlan, who generally put things in plastic bags. So, oh, Wendy. So in here is a note. This is the invoice, Jess, in case you need it. Hugs to Jess from Wendy and Poppy. Thank you, Wendy, and thank you, Poppy. And also in the box, sorry, yes, the magazine. Now I know that Jason over at Model Kit Stuff did a review of this. Oh look, on the back there's the Sea King. There's mine there, look. Yeah, so very nice indeed. Something I find very interesting, these Sea Kings have these supports with the cables on the door, and I do not remember seeing those in my instructions. I'm going to have to go back and have a look. Maybe the parts are in there and they're not in the instructions, but this is basically a, I think it's a kind of, is that how to build it? Glorious Gannet. Yeah, it looks like there's it's a feature on it. Yes, it is. It's a how-to kind of. You see there. So really handy. We'll have a look. I'll do a review of that because it looks very, very good. But here is the beautiful kit that we've all been waiting for so long. Unfortunately, one of the designers, I'm not going to go too deep, one of the designers actually fell ill, and that caused the delay that made the kit late. So I'm going to basically get to the bench, so we'll go overhead and I'll do a very quick review of it. I'm not going to go too mad with a review because every man and his dog has reviewed this and you've probably seen it, but I'll just have a quick look and we can get my opinion of it. Not that it matters, but you know, my opinion doesn't count for a poo, really, does it? But we shall see. But it's beautiful, isn't it? It's a lovely, lovely looking airplane. I've always loved the Gannet. It's a big old bird, and I can't believe how big this box is. It's huge. Right, let's get over the bench and I'll see you in a second. Right, so here we are at the bench. Nice glossy box, as you can see, with all the light reflections and stuff going on. But not to worry. So 148 Ferry Gannet AS1/AS4. I know nothing about this aircraft other than it's got counter-rotating props on the front. That's it. It's got a big arrestor look. And it's got some interesting little finlets on the tailplanes. So, and it's also got a very interesting wing fold, which is very nice. It's like a big dancer or something standing there. Anyway, got a submarine down there. Look. So, plastic model kit. Nothing really much to say. We got all the warnings there around the edges of the box, as you could see, and then around here on the end, it's just basically the same artwork again. But the thing is, it's so. There we go. And then here we have some words about the aircraft. You can pause it and read those there if you want to. And then here we have 3 different versions. They're all in the same scheme. One's got like invasion stripes on it, Cyprus 1957, HMS Art Royal 1958, and Royal Naval Air Station Culdrose circa 1959. The one with stripes looks nice, doesn't it? It's also got that nice crimson nose cone on it. So we'll have a look. So in fact that's that one. No, it hasn't got the stripes, has it? I'm just wondering, are they all the same aircraft? Have they done the same here? No, I thought they'd done the same as they'd done with the Sea King, and it's all the same aircraft. So I'm looking for the little cartograph sign. We've got a length of 290mm, a width of 344, and it's 334 pieces. It's got 4 flying hours on there, and it's a skill level 4. And here we've got the golden cartograph. So Airfix kit, cartograph decals, best decals on the planet. And I'm not just saying that, they are amazing. Airfix decals made by Cartograph, they seem to be even better than Cartograph decals, to be honest. So here we go, let's have a look. So we have a bag, clear parts in a bag, and we've got a bag of sprues here, and it's a big old beast, and it's got lovely surface detail, very much like the Sea King. And then we've got wings here. I hope we don't have to cut these up. So we've got another bag here with 2 sprues. They're not identical, they're sort of left and right, but they're sort of the same. So yeah, looks like we've got folded wing sections there. We've got to just move this camera a second. And then we've got the bag of 2 sprues here. So this is there's 3 sprues in here, so this is our greeblies and stuff. Lovely looking instrument panel there, very nice indeed. And then here we have the instructions with the decals in the instructions. Thank you, Airfix. I'm wearing an Airfix t-shirt. I'm not an Airfix fanboy. I just want to let you know that. But I do think Airfix cartograph decals are the best decals you can get. And I'm just so pleased they put their decals in the instruction manual. So many manufacturers these days put them in the bottom of the box. the sprues sit on top of them, rattle around, pump up and down on them and ruin them. So thank you Airfix for putting them in there. So we have our decals here. We'll have a look at these first, and they are perfectly in register, perfect colour, very thin. They will go down an absolute dream. I hope they've got the right squadron signals and everything here, badges, because they got that wrong on the Sea King. But which one did I want to do? 086. Oh, here it is, 086. So it's XA335 086. So these are all the generics, obviously, and then this here is going to be version C XA335. So there we are. Right, they are beautiful. Look how rich those colours are in those roundels. Absolutely beautiful. So with the shiny stuff out of the way, we can bring the light back over the top. So here we have our colour call out, so we'll have a look at those in a minute as well. More shiny stuff. So very quick look through the instructions like we normally do. Just going to bring you down a touch, there we go. And due to the size and weight of the rear fuselage and tail surfaces, it requires a large amount of weight to be added to the forward fuselage to enable the model to rest on its nose wheel. There are two places we recommend this is added. See step 4 and step 23, and weight suggested should be regarded as a minimum that needs to be added to avoid a tail sitter. So there we go. We've got all the people here they've thanked, so they've had a lot of help from different people getting this all together. So again, we've got all the description here. It's probably the same that's on the side of the box. So, and it's telling us, yeah, there you go, wash your sprues in warm water. It's always worth doing. So this kind of looks like a smaller format, doesn't it? If you look at like the Sea King and the Hellcat and all that, big pictures, they've got a lot more steps on one page. Normally, like that would be one page, wouldn't it? So they've obviously got a thinner book by making the steps smaller. Nothing wrong with that. I'm all up for that. So that's really nice as well. But anyway, different languages here. We've got some assembly instructions and do's and don'ts. Don't feed it to your dog. Don't let the canary eat it. Stuff like that. And then you've got your bits and pieces down here, which is all your symbols for drilling, filling, how many bits there are, don't glue and all that. So in here, straight away, we're into the bomb bay by the look of it. Adding the cockpit floor onto the front of the bomb bay. There's a decal to go on there, which is going to be stenciling inside the bomb bay by the look of it. And we've got more there. Bloody hell, Airfix. We've got bomb bay stencils. Wow. It's the detail like that that really impresses me. I've got a feel I'm going to be happy with this kit. I want to start it straight away. Too much of this stuff on the go at the moment. So we've got the bomb bay there, cockpit floor going on, massive wing spar, which is really nice. And I love this, the way they did this with the Vulcan. They give you a separate little area to put your weight in. I think that's absolutely brilliant. So what I may well do is put some lead in there and then like layer some resin over the top of it and let it cure and hold it in place, and it'll never come out then. If you make some indentations in the side to key the resin, that will be cool. And then you've got the interior floor going on top there, and then flipping it over by the look of it. Yeah, flipping it over. I'm sure that's flipping it over. And then we've got some more detail going on here. I can't see where these sides have come from. Yeah, that is number 5 flipped over, obviously. So you're going to put some weight in there. In fact, that cockpit floor is going over that box, so you probably don't need to fix the lead in place, although you do want it to be quietened down, so perhaps a bit of sponge on it or something. Stop waffling, Nige. And this looks like, is that nose gear bay there? Looks like it's extremely detailed. We've got instruments here going in for the second seat. So instrument decals going on there. And then we've got a bulkhead there. And that's the bulkhead for the pilot. Oh, sorry, the second seat. It's hard to see what's going on here actually. There's so much going on. This is very, very complex for Airfix instructions normally. And I'm not knocking them at all. It's absolutely fine. It's just normally it's like 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces. This is all lots and lots going on. It's got a lovely looking seat there by the look of it. This could really do with a set of seat belts, guys. I don't think I would build this without seat belts. Although I like to do things out of the box with Airfix, I think I would definitely get some seat belts. I'm not sure if would they still be Sutton harnesses in this day and age. Not sure. And then we've got the instrument panel going together. We've got all the separate dials there. It looks like it's separate dials. Let's have a quick look. Are they separate dials on the instrument panel? No, it's one decal, so put that down and be careful not to stretch it all around too much. No doubt everyone's going to be all over this in the aftermarket. There'll be all sorts of cockpit decals and stuffs available. So we've got the instrument panel going in, and we've got this bulkhead here for the third seat, and then we've got that seat going in there in 2 pieces, and adding that instrument panel for him back in there. I guess he's the navigator, radio guy, whatever. Colour call-outs all the way through. It's telling us to paint all the inside of the cockpit sidewalls black. And then we've got some more decals going into the sides here. Wow, this is impressive stuff, guys. And then we're going to put the interior in, close the fuselage halves up, add some more weight. 55 grams in there, and we've already got 12 in there. Bloody hell. So a lot of people talk about the strength of the nose gear. Will it be strong enough? It's not the strength of the nose gear that matters. It's the main landing gear. Because if you think about it, if this is your aircraft here, okay, and this is your main undercarriage, okay, if the rear here weighs 50 grams, and say it's equal distance from there to there, if the rear weighs 50 grams more than the front, if you put 50 grams of weight in the front, or 51 grams, it will sit on its nose. But that nose gear is only feeling 1 gram of weight, because you've got 50 grams here acting against it. It's the main gear that needs to be strong enough, because it's the main gear that feels the 50 grams, not the nose gear. So if it's 50 here and you put 60 in the front, the nose will only feel 10 grams, the main gear will feel 60. So just bear that in mind. And I'm not trying to teach an old, whatever the phrase is, I can't remember now. But it's just that some people don't think of it like that. They think of the nose gear being the weak point. So here we've got the lower the lower turret thing going in. That's the radar, isn't it, that comes out. The model cannot rest on its wheels with the radome in the extended position. So you need to put the radome in the closed position. Okay, so you add that at step 157. All right. So how many steps are there? Bloody hell. So here we are building up the main gear base, adding on the doors. It says do not glue. It's a bit strange. I'll have to look into that. I don't really want to be putting the doors in at this point. They're going to get broken off. And then you've got some control surfaces going together here, and then the same repeated on there. And then we're going to build up the wings. Now, building this model with unfolded wings follows steps 39 to 50 and miss out 51 to 72. And then vice versa if you're building it with folded wings. So if you're building with the wings extended, here you go, you've got little box structures in there to stop the wing be collapsing. This is a beautifully designed kit. Whoever designed this, I'm not sure if this was Prezzie or Chris or whatever, but what I'm seeing in here, this is really, really nice. This is up there, this is top notch. Very, very impressive. Got some rockets there going in, so check your references to see if your version had them. And then you've got the other side up, wing going together. These clear wing tips, which is a great idea as long as they fit. And then here we're doing the same again, but this is now with all the folded wings. So make sure you know where you're going. You can see there with the wings folded, it's like, it's really weird. And then you've got the clear tips going on again. And then here, going over the page, we've got the rudder, tail planes, elevators. There's little finlets on the tail planes. And then we've got flaps going together here, so you can have the flaps up or down by the look of it. And I love the way they do this. They put these little tags on, and they put the actual part number in the part. We'll look at that in a minute when we see the part. It's done so you can take them off, paint them, and you don't get them mixed up. Or if you end up with a pile of bits on your bench, it's the same with the Hellcat. Everything's numbered actually on the part. It's really good. So here you've got your flaps extended. It looks like that's flaps extended, and that's flaps up, so they come out like a B-52 by the look of it. That's what got me confused. It looks like they actually come out, so you actually increase the wing area rather than just spoil it. So here we've got the engine intakes going together on the front, and we've got the spinner there for the propellers. And then here it's talking about having undercarriage up or down or whatever. When building this model, the undercarriage up, follow steps 93 to 101 below. When building this model, the undercarriage down, miss out steps 95 to 101 and go to 102. So there we go. So you're still going to have your undercarriage because the wheel's exposed by the look of it. So that's why it's telling you wheels up and wheels down, that's saying. and then you're going to put the model together with the wheels actually in the bays. You've got full-size wheels rather than the half-size which you normally get. And then the main undercarriage legs are going together. Hopefully they're going to be strong enough. And this is with your undercarriage down, obviously. Nose gear going together there. It's look nice and strong. It doesn't really need to be. Looks like we've got weight on wheels, which is a nice touch. And then we're building up our propeller assemblies. They're not going to be working, are they? I can't see any gears. I wonder if there's going to be a gear in there, so when you turn one prop, the other one goes the other way. So that's all very nice. Bombay closed. I don't know why on earth you would build the Bombay closed with that beautiful Bombay. And then we've got a weapons loadout here. So we've got the choice of bombs. We've got these here. Got torpedoes. Bloody hell. This is gorgeous, guys. Oh, this is probably Airfix's best kit ever, isn't it? It's got to be up there. I mean, we've got separate internal door Bombay doors, which is nice. We've got more stencils there. Bloody hell. Or is this the same stencils? Then it might be the same stencils and they're telling you to put them in now. So Bombay doors open with the actuators and everything there. And then we've got these little pylons here. And I'm guessing they're going to be for little bombs. We're going to put some bombs or drop tanks or something on them. And we've got some rocket rails and the rockets going on there. God, you could really dress this up. And then here we've got the part H7 is a jig, do not glue. So you've got to drill a couple of 0.8 holes in it. So you're going to put that part over the top and then drill through. Very thoughtful. And that's only for versions B and C. And then here for A, you're going to measure 28mm back and drill a 1.1 hole in the center. They always do this 1.1mm. 1.1mm drills are hard to get hold of, Airfix. You need to change it to 1, please. Because if you buy these drills, which are probably the most common drills on the planet, they never have a 1.1 in them. So please change your tactics, Airfix, to have it 1 or 1.2. Because 1 will be too tight, and 1.2 means it's flopping around like a prick in a top hat. So please bear that in mind. So here they are, we're building that radome up, and that's going to be pushed up in now. So all the clear parts are going on. It's got some pilot figures in there. Obviously it's telling you how to paint them. No way would I use them. And we've got the clear parts here. We can have them closed or open. Looks like you don't have optional parts for closed and open. So that's pretty cool, but it may mean that the rear of the fuselage here is inaccurate. If you remember, like the Tamiya Corsair, they used the different parts because the thickness of the plastic is thicker than the real. You know what I mean. Got some little greeblies going on here. Got the exhaust going in there. Looks like they're one-piece exhaust, so that's a really nice touch. And then final assembly here, we've got the folded wings going together, and you can see there how it looks. It's just beautiful with it all folded up. So yeah, wow, impressive stuff. So we've got the colour callouts here, typically British colours. So this is version A, and hopefully you can see that and not glared out. So there's version A, so you can see the propellers there. Got a lovely crimson spinner, XA460, and it's got 446 on the front. I don't quite know why that is. 849 Naval Air Squadron. Oh, it's a training flight, and it's got all the instructions here how to paint all your missiles and bombs and whatever it is, torpedoes. So very nice indeed. And then we've got version B, which is an AS4, HMS Art Royal 1958. So this is XA418. So very nice indeed. Got the blue spinner on that one, but pretty much everything else is the same, I think. Very, very similar anyway. And then here we've got the final version, the C version. And this has got the invasion stripes on it. RAF Nicosia, sorry. Cyprus 1957. I think that's the one I'll do. On the return to the UK, the stripes were removed from the wings and fuselage. A silhouette of Cyprus with the squadron number were added to the fin lot on either side. In addition, the code letters HF were applied to either side of the tail. So, if you want to do a based in Cyprus 1957, and you want to have those stripes, that's the way to go. And I love the way Airfix do this. They give you the size of the bands, the total overall, and it's just really, really good. You can see here 6.4mm wide, 32mm total. So you can get yourself one of here we go. Get yourself one of these, and there will be a combination on there somewhere that you can make up a band 6.4mm wide, and it'll work out wonderfully. So yeah, very nice indeed. And we've got on the back of there a whole load of stencils, and the stencils for the bombs and everything. Look at all the stencils around the canopy. Beautiful. This was going to be a really quick review, guys, and I've just gone to town because I've fallen in love with it. It's bloody gorgeous. Thank you, Wendy. It is absolutely gorgeous. I thought the Sea King was Airfix's best kit. I think this has gone one step beyond. So again, we've got this lovely dark grey plastic. It is made in India. A lot of people think it's the same plastic as the Spitfire. It's not. The Spitfire plastic is nicer, but this is absolutely fine. This is so much better than the old grey blue tack we used to get. But you can see here we've got some beautiful moulding. So we've got sprue F, G and H all together here. So we're probably going to be getting different variants, and you'll find you'll have F and H won't be there, and something else will be there. It will be J and K or something. But yeah, you can see we've got some beautifully moulded detail. We've got that looks like the nose gear because there's only one of them. You can see that on there. That's really nice. You got the nose wheel with the weight on, or the nose wheels, should I say? No tire lettering or anything on there. So if you really want to go to town and get some resin ones, it does need a wash. It's very oily, but I always say that, don't I? You've got this. It looks like the nose gear doors, perhaps, in the closed position, but that's got some lovely detail on it. And then here we've got the interior of the rear cockpit, and this is the forward cockpit area. So that's the front two seats, and that's the rear seat. We've got all our seats there. We've got pilot figures. We've got 3 of them. They're all sat there with their hands on the knees, all the same, and they look like something from the 1960s, don't they? They look very soft indeed. But doesn't bother me because I never ever use them, never. So there we go. The arrestor hook there, that's very nice. And that instrument panel is beautiful. Really sharp and crisply moulded. Very nice indeed. So that's sprue F, G and H. We've got ejector pin marks, but none of those silly great big Z pins you have to cut off. And it looks like we don't have any ejector pin marks in silly places. Everything is on the backs. So I'm not sure if you're going to see the backs of these bulkheads, but yeah, and then you've got little tiny bits and pieces up here, and they're all beautifully moulded, completely undamaged. So far so good. Nothing, no short shots, no broken parts, no missing parts, not even any parts off the sprue. So very nice indeed. Well done, Airfix. Here onto the second sprue from that bag. This is sprue J, or frame J. This is quite weighty. I noticed Greg had some issues with these parts broken or missing or whatever, or short-shotted. These all look fine. This kit looks to be perfect. So we've got all our armament here. Very nice indeed. It looks like this is all armament. We've got rockets, we've got some pylons there. They're in 2 halves. Again, beautifully recessed rivet detail on there. Very nice indeed. Honestly, this is gorgeous. Some tiny little bombs. And then third bag in this sprue. This is sprue E. I'm upside down on every one. So here we've got our main gear wheels. Again, we have no tyre lettering, but we do have them. They're very nicely flatted. Interior walls for the landing gear bays. And they are beautiful. They have raised and recessed detail on them. We've got the wing folds there. You can see that's all gorgeous. And then we've got are these the extending arms for our flaps? I think they are, but you can see on there, as I was saying, we've got the actual tabs on. You've got the letter moulded on, so you cut them off and then you fit them onto your flaps, and then once you know you've got them in the right place, you cut those tabs off. So yeah, the wheels are gorgeous. See the wheels there? They're very nice indeed. No doubt Art Scale kit will have masks for the clear parts, and they will have 3D printed resin wheels for this in no time. And then here we've got the same on this side of the sprue. It's just left and right. And we've got doors there, undercarriage doors. And we have, oh, Airfix, what have you done? Look at this. We've got all our doors here, okay? All the beautiful rivet detail on them. All lovely and everything. When you turn them over, look at that. All the rivet details there, and no, not a single ejector pin mark in sight. They're listening to us, guys. Airfix are listening, and they are coming up with the goods. There's no doubt about it. This is not only is it beautifully designed, it also looks like it's beautifully produced. They've sorted the plastic. The only downside to it all is it's still made in India, which means we may have some quality issues, as we all know. But you know, looking at this kit here, they may well have got to the bottom of it. So here we are once again. We are just encapsulated in beautiful detail. We have some beautiful rivet detail on here. Got some little strengtheners there across the wing, upper wing, and the lower wing as well. They have a look at your references. They may have been a later edition. We do actually have some sink marks here. Now this is somewhere where the design team has fallen over. They've got a very thin section here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a very thin section here so that they could get this section here to sit into it and give you a nice sharp trailing edge. The trouble with that is we've got a load of sinkage there on the top. I don't know if you can see it in the light, but it really is pretty badly sunk. However, having said that, it probably looks worse now than it would with a coat of primer on it. And it could be actually that part of it is sunk and part of it is raised. So it could be that a very light rub over with a worn out sanding stick may actually clear some of that up. Yeah, you can see that where I've just sanded it, that area there is raised. So if we just touch those rivets with a sharp point and then sand it, we'll probably get rid of that. So that's not so bad. But you know, you'd have thought they'd have known that when you've got really thin sections like that with a thick section right next to it, you're going to get, you know, it's the differing cooling. It's going to affect the how it cools, how it cools, whatever you want to say. But that's the first problem I've come across on the kit, and I can't see any problems on any other part. So yeah, just look at the detail. It's just wonderful. It really is really nice. We've got internal roof detail there for the gear base, and there's those bits that go inside the wings to strengthen them up so you don't get that effect when you squeeze them. And then this is basically a mirror, and this one's a lot better actually. We've still got a mark there, but it is a hell of a lot better than the other side. So there we go. It may be worth asking Airfix for a replacement, but I don't think it needs that. We got our Bombay doors there, look, with the internals there. So you get no ejector pin marks. I mean, they've got no ejector pin marks in there anyway, even though it's going to get covered up with another part. So yeah, beautiful. The detail on these control surfaces is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then here we have our final bag, which has 2 sprues in it. This is our 2 main sprues. So, I know we've got 3 sprues and then we've got our clear parts as well. So here we have the extended wings, and once again we have this sinkage along here where we have the thinned out part. That is probably a I said it's a design issue. It's not so much a design issue, it's a processing issue. It needs to be cooled in the tool for longer. But the actual surface detail is gorgeous. It's stunning. It really is lovely. So if you're building it wings out, you just got top and bottom wings to put together. That's it. If you're building it wings folded, you've got 6 parts on each side rather than just the 2. There's our radome there, and there's the shroud that goes around the radome, and that's the base for the radome. So basically, if you're building it folded, these are going to go in your spares box, so they could become test mules, couldn't they? I could just see me now doing masking demos over those raised sections. And then here we have the final grey sprue, and again you can see the oil on there. There's loads of it. This is actually wet. You can see here that is physically wet with oil, so make sure you degrease your sprues before you start, just in case. So there's the intake on the front, and that looks to be beautifully made. And then we have the fuselage half. The riveting in that fuselage is not as sharp as the rest of the kit, but under a coat of paint that's not going to matter. It just doesn't look as sharp here. The bomb bay is stunning, and there are no ejector pin marks. In fact, look at that. And why can't other companies do this? They've managed to make this and have the ejector pin marks in the back. Now, a lot of companies say they can't do that because this is the side that wants to stay in the tool. If Airfix have done it, then everyone else can. So here's our main cockpit floor area. So that's going to glue onto the top of there. And there's our boxes for our weights. So very, very well thought out. And then here we've got that's the bomb bay bulkheads. They're absolutely gorgeous. Look at them. Really, really nice. We've got a cockpit floor. No, that's the nose gear bay. The cockpit floor is obviously somewhere else. Sorry, there's the cockpit floor there. That's the nose gear bay. That's the cockpit floor. Okay. So yeah, there's that spar for the wings. That's going to be nice and strong. It also make sure you get the right dihedral. We have ejector pin marks in here, but it doesn't matter because we've got panels to go in there. So that's all good. And you can see how they've polished all the ejector pins anyway. But yeah, it's and we just look at the detail on the nose gear bay. You can see in there the oil. I mean, look at it. There's loads of it in there. So yeah, it's definitely going to have a wash. Dirty thing. So yeah, that's gorgeous. And then finally, let's hope this isn't a letdown. I don't think it will be. Airfix have got their thing sorted on clear parts. So there we go. They're lovely. Tiny little bit of distortion in those, but I mean, we've got a little mould seam on the top to sand out, that's no issue. But you can see on here, if I hold this up, I hold this on here, you can see tiny little bit of distortion, but you know, you're going to have that anyway, and you'll probably display it with these open, to be honest. We got our gun sight there. We have some lights here. We have our wing tips molded clear, so you just have one little area at the front that you paint clear red, clear green, and the rest of it you paint in normal camo. But they're lovely. They're very, very clear. Really, really nice. So you can see on the top there, you've got that little tiny, very tiny seam. So there we are, guys. These can go straight back in the bag. It's very interesting what Airfix have done. It's sort of double sealed bag. So what we can do there, if you've got one of these and you've opened it to have a look, put that like that. Put that like that. Bring that over there, and then grab yourself a very lovely Christmas. Well, let's have yourself a very Merry Christmas, isn't it? That can go there. That can go there. Just like that. So there we are. So that has been a review of the brand new Airfix 1/48 Fairy Gannet AS1 AS4, and well, You know what I like, guys? I don't pull my punches about kits, and if there's something wrong I will tell you, like straight away I picked up on those sink marks. But if you look at previous Airfix products, like the Vulcan, with the sink marks I had in mind, if I've got one part with some bad sink marks on it, I couldn't care a damn. Because all I've got to do, as I say, is just mark those rivets and sand away the distortion. And as I say, once it's painted in a matte colour, you probably won't see it anyway. We're sat here with a glossy plastic, under the light, under a camera, looking for it. But no, the clear parts are beautiful. The grey parts are beautiful. The plastic is that same as the Sea King, so no complaints there, other than those funny white marks, which are really weird. Yeah, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I mean, I love the way they've given you this closed Bombay and also Bombay open, so you don't have to cut this in half to have what, you know, and then risk ruining the edge of your part. And again, you don't have to use two halves to have the Bombay closed, because they've done it all as one piece. But why you'd want to cover that up, I do not know. That's going to look amazing with a coat of white paint and a wash and everything. That look absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I was just seeing. I did notice actually on those wings, I forgot to pick it up. There's raised rivet detail on those wings. So be careful when you've got your sanding sticks out. In fact, on here, I don't think there is actually sink marks on these wings here. I'm not really too sure. I'm not sure if it is or not. Just give it a quick. Yeah, it looks a lot worse than it is. If you see on there, I don't know if you can see that, where I've sanded it, you've got a little shiny line going down the middle. You've got flat here, flat there, and a shiny line. It's a tiny little thin sink mark. That's nothing. So that's nothing to worry about. It's yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely lovely, and I cannot wait to build it. But I want some seat belts first. I do not want to build this without seat belts, because there's so much going on internally, and it's such a big, beautiful model. So there we go, guys. So I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to Wendy, not only for that, but also for this, which is going to be really handy. This is how we mask a Spitfire, I guess. There's lots of how-to stuff in here. Got the Gannet there, and then here we have a big feature on the Gannet. There's Art Raw, and then a big feature on how to build it, and there it is. Is there an image of it here with the folded wings? There you go. That's how she looks with folded wings, guys. There you go. Beautiful. And they've got the stripes yellow and black instead of white and black. I wonder why that is. It probably tells you in here. Probably tells you all about it. So, lots of Star Wars stuff there. Oh, here's an old kit. So there we are, she is with folded wings. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Here we go, they're putting liquid gravity in there. It says here, Airfix provides a container between the cockpit and Bombay for 12 grams of ballast, although more will be needed to prevent it from being a tail sitter. So yeah, I'll put lead sheet in there. I've got a load of lead balls, but I'll probably put lead sheet in there. So, as I say, I'm just looking at these, if we've got any images of that wing, if it can be seen. There we go. You can see, I mean, that is hardly going to be seen. It's got the other wing over the top of it, so I really wouldn't worry about it. So yeah, and also massive thank you for that, Wendy. I'm really looking forward to building this, actually, because as I say, it's a sort of model you can just work on and just get into it. There's no cockpit detail, there's no glazing to worry about, there's no masking to worry about. You just stick it together and paint it, We've got two options on there. In fact, let's have a quick look at it. I won't do a complete unboxing, but we have got, there's a little bag of clear parts there. That's some sort of radome. And then here we have the main fuselage halves and the base, and then here's the two different nose sections. So one's obviously got a different radar array than the other. And then here we have armament. By the look of it, that's armament stuff, or is that the... No, that is armament by the look of it. I think that might be the wing support, the folded rotor supports. And then here we have the actual rotors themselves, and there's the folded supports for them, so you can have it all folded and supported. Not folded because it's just two rotors. You can have it stashed. This would look great, wouldn't it? When you get the border model 1/35 of Kagi deck, have this part behind the bridge on that. That would be funny. We've got some more rotor blades there. Is it just two rotor blades or is it four? Oh, it is four. It does have four rotor blades. There we go. I was wrong again. I'm always bloody wrong. So it does have four rotor blades. So it has the option to have them folded. So there we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wendy, you are so good to me. It's untrue, and I know it's not just me you're good to either. And we've got some beautiful low vis. I say beautiful. You know what those decals are like on that bloody Apache. These are like they may be okay because they're Tacom. They haven't got that. The Apache ones had that funny coloured band down one side, didn't it? But let's have a quick look at them actually. Let's see what they're like. Because if they're not good, we'll have to get some aftermarket ones. In fact, I will choose which version I'm going to do before I even start the kit, and then I'll get one of the ones I'm not going to use and try it on something else. Because if these are anything like the ones in the Apache, you can forget it. But, they do look very similar, to be honest. They look very much like the printing is on top of the carrier film. So if you try and remove the carrier film, the ink comes away first. But as I say, we shall see. I'm not going to knock them before I try them. I've used Tacom decals in the past and not had an issue. I don't know why that Apache was so bad. But they certainly don't look as thick, but they do look... Well, there's nothing wrong with having the ink on top of the carrier film. Revell does it all the time. But it's just that if they're like the Apache ones, no doubt there will be decal manufacturers out there making decals for it already. I'm not sure how new this kit is. Is there a date on here? I'm not sure Tacom normally put a date on here. Oh, it's brand new, 2023. So there may be decals out there, although a lot of it's going to be generic except for that symbol up there. But what a beautiful, beautiful little kit. So there we go. There'll be a build on this on the channel very soon, and there will definitely, 100% definitely be a build of this. Definitely. So I'll let it cool quieten down first, because I should imagine at the moment every man and his dog is building this kit. So we shall see. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to see a review of this, let me know, and then you can have a good look at it rather than go and buy it. If you want to see a full review of this, let me know and I'll do a full review of it. But I'm definitely going to be building it. That could be a good little Christmas build, couldn't it, actually? So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Sorry for all the waffling. That was going to be a really quick review and it's been 50 minutes long. Look at that. In fact, it's more than that with me bloody waffling at the beginning, isn't it? See you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.